Alright, so my girl just put me on the Terrifier series, and I thought, you know what? I kind of want to talk about this. So here I am talking about this. Now, when I first seen this movie, I thought this is just gonna be another typical cliche horror slasher. You got the dumb blonde, you got the other girl who makes it out alive at the end of the movie, you got the killer. I mean, everything you need, full stop. But what makes these movies so different is the killer himself, Art the Clown. This man is a demon. And I don't mean that literally. I mean, I've seen him walk away from some stuff that would probably unalive any other human. But it's more just the type of timing that this man is on specifically. I mean, just look at this. Now, I can't show this on YouTube for obvious reasons, but all you need to know is that behind this picture of Diddy is a picture of horrors. I've never seen a killer revel in torture and mutilation as much as Art does, and it's honestly what cements him as one of the greatest horror icons of today's generation. But I'm going to take some time today to further talk about Art and dry that cement that puts him among the greatest horror slasher villains of all time. So the movie starts out with one of Art's victims getting interviewed about her experience with the clown. And we don't really get to see her face until the interview lady asks her what her initial reaction to it was after she woke up from a coma. And when I seen this girl's face on my screen for the first time, I genuinely got goosebumps, because if this is the type of damage that they're showing Art has done in the first 5 minutes of the movie, I can only imagine what he's gonna do with the next hour and 45 minutes. I mean, just look at this girl's face. Art really hit her with the, "What are they selling?" and then left her alive afterwards to deal with it. Like, at that point, I would have just finished the job my damn self. But we finish up the interview and we get the opening credits. And in between the opening credits, we get one of the coldest suit-ups I've ever seen from a nigga that's not a superhero. I mean, this nigga Art's doing it all. The fingerless gloves and the face paint is a vicious combo. And you would think that this face paint just makes Art a regular nigga who's dressing up as a clown. But I promise you, this is nothing like those 2016 clown sightings at all. Like, just look at this nigga's teeth. This is a clear indication that this is not a regular human. This nigga Art is a demon. And after getting fully dripped out, this man proceeds to make the most diabolical weapon I've ever seen in my life. A makeshift cat of nine tails with scalpels and scissors on the end. This weapon would make my ancestors cry for help through the graves. Bro then puts all his weapons in a trash bag and proceeds to go do whatever dastardly thing he's got planned. So we cut back to the interview lady, and she's in her dressing room on her phone with her bae talking about how if she ever looked like Victoria, she would want to be put out of her misery. And I agree with that statement, but you always got to be careful about who you talk about. And just as she gets off the phone, she hears something in the clothing rack behind her. And with zero situational awareness, she gets up to go check it out, only to find that there was nothing there, and that she should have checked her corners, because Victoria jumps out from behind her and proceeds to give her the same facial deconstruction that she got from Art. And I know JoJo C was playing in Victoria's head as she laughs at what she did. She spoke too soon, and now it's over. Shit tragic for real. So after that banger of an intro, we cut to our two somewhat main characters, Tara and Dawn. Now I say somewhat because while they're in most of the movie, this movie really isn't about them. This is Art's movie. So they make it to Dawn's car, and both of them are clearly too loaded to be driving the car. So Tara suggests that they go out and get some food to sober up. And while they're having this whole little debacle, Art begins to stalk them. And this is where all the bullshit starts to happen. So Tara notices Art in the distance, and when the camera pans back to Art, he's giving Tara the most haunting smile she could have ever seen while being loaded. Like, this is straight out of a horror movie. Wait, so after Tara makes Art's presence known to Dawn, Dawn begins to taunt both Tara and Art by telling him that Tara wants his number. And just look at Art's face upon hearing this. This is the face of a predator who has found his prey and likes what he sees. And after looking away for a split second, they turn back to realize that Art is gone. And can I just say, Art's performance right here is amazing, top tier. Michael Myers would be proud of this man, the way he is disappearing out of the camera frame. Catching up with Tara and Dawn at the pizza restaurant, these two are completely unaware that they have Art's attention and this nigga's on the prowl. Just look at Tara's initial reaction when she sees Art walk to that door. She knows this man is up to no good, and he does not take his eyes off of her for not 1 second. When I say not 1 second, I mean not one goddamn second. He has his eyes locked in on her from the moment he walks in to the moment he walks out. The only time he takes his eyes off of her is when Don starts fucking with his hat and taking pictures with him. And even then, he doesn't even talk to this nigga. When he's all in Art's face, he does not get not one fuck. Look how he's just locked in on Tara. It may look like he's looking at him right here when he bends down, but no, he's straight locked in on Tara. He does not give a fuck about nobody else but her. And even she knows it. Look how she looks at him. She looks damn near shell-shocked, and she knows that he wants her. And Art knows he will come at her with more sheer will than John Wick to get her. He even starts emoting on her ass.
But this fucking guy that just walked in.
No, I'm not gonna lie though, this nigga Art is actually funny. Damn, who would have thought a clown actually being funny? So after Art's done emoting on Tara, he gives her a ring and then he gets up and goes to the bathroom. And this is where Art is really about to show off his Hall of Fame Manus badge. So this guy brings the two girls their food and proceeds to ask them if they're okay after the interaction that they just had with Art, and telling them that they don't have to worry about it and he'll take care of it. But boy was this nigga wrong. He leaves to go check on Art in the bathroom, and when he gets back there, he ends up kicking Art out of the restaurant for painting his name on the walls with milk chocolate. And when I say milk chocolate, I think you know exactly what I'm talking about. So the manager starts making this guy clean up the mess. And if that was me, best believe I'm clocking out and I'm probably never coming back to work. But unfortunately for this man, that's no longer an option for him. Bro gets to telling the manager that if he doesn't get paid overtime for the mess, then he's not staying there, which is very respectable. However, once he doesn't hear the manager responding, he decides to go check it out for himself. And we're about to find out that that was probably the worst idea that this man could have had in that moment. But I don't really think he had a chance in the first place, to be fair. After getting to the kitchen, bro turns around only to find the most disturbing thing that he'll probably ever see for the rest of his short life, which is probably going to be like the next 5 minutes. And I'm not going to show you exactly what he saw, but you remember that manager from earlier? This is him now. This nigga Art carved this man's face into the shape of a jack-o'-lantern, hollowed out the entirety of his head cavity, and lit him on fire, all within a span of about maybe 10 to 15 minutes. And this right here is why Art is truly one of a kind. And Art did all of this just to catch bro off guard for his next attack. And he was not ready for this at all. Bro doesn't even try to make a good attempt to escape. He goes for a locked door. And I feel like he should have knew it was already locked, but I really just can't with this right here. But then he goes for the phone, and bro keeps his hand there just for Art to come chop his shit clean off. And I'm gonna try to edit this as best as I can, because I'm not taking no chances with YouTube. But if there's anything that this is clearly established about Art, is that bro does not care where he gets his lick in as long as he gets his lick in. And this is a clear example right here. Like, what an odd place to just stab somebody. And it doesn't stop there. Art's just hitting this man anywhere and everywhere he can. In the ear, in between the eyes, and he's just alive the entire time, feeling it all. And Art gets him a few good more times before he's finally feel like he's done. And by the time he is, this man's looking like 70% lean ground beef. And as expected, Art's enjoying this shit to the max. And with 2 people down, Art's night of fun is just getting started. And next time we come back, we'll be catching up with Tara and Dawn to see where the plot takes them next.